and friends, and welcome back to She's At It Again. My name is Tanya. If you're new to our channel, we do a lot of cooking around here. And today we're going to make something I think you'll find interesting. I'm kind of on this Greek kick right now, and I'm not sure why. We traveled to Greece last summer, and I don't think there was anything I didn't like, but particularly this. We had gone up to the Acropolis, and it was so hot, I'm not even kidding. They closed down the park, and it's a park, it's a monument at the top of a giant hill, but they closed it down because it was too hot. And let me tell you, when they said they were closing it down, I was like, okay, these people have some sense because this is ridiculous. It was so hot, even sitting there resting at the foot of the mountain was so exhausting. But it was a fabulous trip, and when we got to the bottom of the mountain, there was a restaurant we went to, and it was some sort of cave restaurant. May have been called the Cave Restaurant, I don't know, but it was so fabulous. And we were served a dish called Pastitsio. And Pastitsio is a Greek lasagna. Okay, I think I caught your attention. Let's go make some. Over here at the stovetop, already have my pasta going. I'm gonna give this one more little stir just so it doesn't stick together. This is 3/4 of a pound of ziti pasta. It's organic pasta. You won't see enriched on the package. Just remember that when you go shopping for pasta, avoid the enriched. First thing we want to do, I'm heating my skillet up already. I want to put about 3 tablespoons of olive oil in there. This is a package of lean ground beef. And I really don't want to splatter that oil. There we go. And this is a 1/2 pound of ground pork that I have left over. Now, the original recipe that I have written down here calls for 1 pound, but I'm sorry, guys, they don't sell it by the 1/2 pound. And I had a 1/2 pound left over from making a video the other day. So in the recipe with this video, I'm going to put 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of pork, but just do what I say and not what I do. Mine's just going to be short 1/2 pound of pork, and that's okay. You will not taste a difference, I promise you. I used to work for an orthodontist, and we would have patients come in for the first time, obviously nervous. They didn't know what was going on, didn't know what to expect. And they would be so uptight, and he would say, "Are you okay?" And they'd say, "Is this going to hurt?" And he'd say, "I won't feel a thing." And they would just go on like he had said, "You won't feel a thing," but actually he was saying, "I won't feel a thing." And I had to stand back and chuckle at him every time because it was so funny. And they were pleasantly surprised when they left that there was very little discomfort involved in it. I will say that. Okay, get that broken out real well. I'm going to turn this heat up just a little bit more because I'm going to add an onion. This is a large onion that I chopped. When I say large, I'm talking about the size of a softball. But the recipe called for large, so I'm obedient. Oh. Okay, we'll cook this till our onion is transparent. Our onion is pretty much transparent. Our beef and pork are cooked to where there's no pink remaining. And we're going to add some garlic. And this is just fresh minced garlic. I just keep it in a jar. It's my one convenience item that I have. Okay, a tablespoon of minced garlic. That's a lot, but we're talking about Greek food, so just enjoy it. cup of beef bone broth. This is homemade bone broth. Now we're going to add some interesting spices to this. And this is what gives it that unique flavor. It doesn't just taste like an Italian mix of anything. It's very, very Greek. A tablespoon of cinnamon. Let's see, I need a different spoon. I'm just going to do 3 teaspoons because my tablespoon is too wide to fit in there. This is Ceylon cinnamon. A teaspoon of oregano. A teaspoon of thyme. Tiny bit of cayenne pepper. When I say a tiny bit, like this is a teaspoon, so you can see about how much that is. Not even a fourth. Two teaspoons of salt. I add just a little bit less than what the recipe calls for. You can always add more, but you can't add less. And if someone wants more on theirs at their place setting, then that's perfectly fine. I'm not offended by them adding salt to it. I just don't want to over salt anything and people be unable to eat the entire thing. And we're going to get about 3/4 of a teaspoon of pepper, and I just ground this. We'll go. Can of diced tomatoes. These are fire roasted. That's just what I prefer, and I buy it by the case. That's how much I love fire roasted tomatoes. But I use them to make everything from salsa to spaghetti to lasagna to pastitsio. And tomato soups too. They're good for that. Wow, this smells so good. Those are diced tomatoes. Feel free to use crushed tomatoes. If you use whole tomatoes, you just have to chop them up, so it just saves that extra step. All right, let's drain our pasta. Add our pasta to the meat sauce. Now remember, this is only 3/4 of a pound of pasta. Right, we'll turn this burner off, and now we're going to make our bechamel. Let's get busy making our bechamel. I'll turn my burner back on. This is the pan that we cooked our pasta in, so that's fine. We need 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm also going to put about 1/4 cup of flour in there. So this is our bechamel that we're making, and basically if you've ever made gravy, if you ever made a pie filling or pudding or something like that, that's kind of what, well, no, not really the pudding or pie filling. You have to wait to add an ingredient for that. But if you've ever made a gravy base, then that's basically what this is. You have your fat, you have your flour, and then you add your liquid to it. If you're making milk gravy, you would add milk to it. If you were making like an au jus or something like that, you would add beef broth. But that's basically the same thing. So we want to cook this to where, I know it kind of sounds crazy, but you're cooking the flour taste out, the raw flour taste. You want it to taste more like a toasted cracker or the crust of a really good bread or something like that, rather than just a flat flour taste. While we're letting that cook, I'm going to go ahead and grate some nutmeg into this. We need about 1/4 of a teaspoon of fresh grated nutmeg. This is what a nutmeg looks like. You've never seen one. Kind of looks like kind of the shape of a pecan, but the inside of it's kind of cool. I have to hold my fingers like this so I don't grate my fingernails, even though I try to keep my nails cut short because it's just not conducive to try to cook and wash dishes with long nails. But I have been known to trim them with a rasp. We need another teaspoon of salt. And again, I'm just going to go just short of a teaspoon. And about 1/2 to 3/4 teaspoon of pepper. That nutmeg smells fabulous. I love how it looks like the flour is just blooming when it's hot like that. All right, I have 2½ cups of whole milk right here. We're going to pour in there. I'm also going to add an egg to this. The egg is optional, but I'm going to add it in there. I just want you to see, sometimes eggs get really messy when you have friends who have chickens and they get someone else to watch their chickens for them while they're gone for a while. And they're like, yeah, I'll just leave those eggs in there a while. Yeah, that's why you gather the eggs almost as soon as they come out of the chicken. Because chickens are messy. Messy, messy, messy. But these eggs are beyond fabulous. All right, I'm going to put that egg in there before this liquid gets too hot. And I'm going to keep stirring it so it doesn't scramble. Not that anybody would notice, but I want it to be smooth. I just want y'all to see what my doggies are doing while I'm over here cooking. Can you see them in the background? It's cold outside and they're all snuggled up. They think I'm talking to myself, I guess. They think I'm crazy because they don't see anybody else in here, but they know I'm talking. Okay, let's get back to our bechamel. Okay, our bechamel is cooking, it's getting thicker, and it's bubbling. I always like to tell people when they say, how do you know when it's done? Like, you know, something's not going to taste right or something. It's not that it's not going to taste right. It's just maybe not at the thickness you want it. So when you can stir it in a circle like this, and then you pull the whisk out, and it kind of, and the swirl kind of bounces back. So let me do that again, in case you missed it. Stir it, and when I take the whisk out, it'll kind of bounce back. Did you see it jiggle? So that's when you know it's done. I know when I make homemade ice cream, that's how I know it's done too. When the swirl bounces back when I take the whisk out. All right, I'm going to turn the heat off. We're now going to add 2/3 of a cup of Greek yogurt. This is really, really good, thick Greek yogurt. Now, when you're in Greece, trust me, there's loads of Greek yogurt. If you're not a fan of Greek yogurt, you might be left out of a lot of things because, I mean, well, actually there's a lot of really good food, but the Greek yogurt is so plentiful. That and the feta. Oh my goodness, is it plentiful. I guess all my life I just thought they called it Greek yogurt because maybe somebody in Greece invented it, but no, they love their Greek yogurt. For breakfast, I would go to, of course, we stayed in a hotel every night, and you go to the breakfast dining room area. Usually it's outside, actually, at our hotels in Greece, but I would go in and they had these enormous bowls of Greek yogurt. So I would eat regular breakfast, and I'm a big breakfast eater. I'd eat my big breakfast, and then I would go back and get the most fruit that I could possibly pile in a bowl and just top it with Greek yogurt, and it looked like a giant ice cream sundae. It was so very good. Ooh, man, it was good. Okay, just whisk that yogurt in there. That's going to give it a little zing. This is going to be delightful. Now, also have, I grated about a cup and a half of, this calls for Parmesan cheese. I'm sorry. I like Romano, Pecorino Romano a little better. I just do. I just think it's lovely. So we're going to put about half of it in there, so about 3/4 of a cup in that, and then the rest of it we'll put on top of our dish. I think Pecorino Romano is better than Parmesan Reggiano. I'm probably the only person in the nation to think that. Maybe in the world, I don't know. But I just find it so delightful. I'm trying to get it off the whisk and keep from flying around the stovetop. Good luck for that. All right, I'll take this off the heat. And we'll go assemble our dish. So really and truly, all we have left to do is just stack this up, but here's how you do it. We have our meat sauce. This may not all fit in there. I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't done it in this pan before. But it calls for a 9 by 13, and this is pretty close. I may have to do a large casserole and then a small casserole and send it to somebody. Okay, do I have anything on the side there? I can't see it. All right, then we top it. So that's our meat sauce and our pasta together. And then we're going to top it with our bechamel sauce, but not all of it apparently, because I've got enough to make a whole other casserole, which is kind of exciting because I've got plenty of people I can send it to. Make sure all those pasta noodles get down in that bechamel sauce. You don't want to bake this and make them hard and crunchy when the rest of it's just getting hot and bubbly. That looks divine. And then we're going to top it with part of our cheese, I guess, not all of it because it's not all fitting in the pan. So I guess it's safe to say that this feeds a large number of people since it's more than what will fit in my dish here. Okay, so this is done for now. I'm just going to let this cool. I'll stick it in the refrigerator, and then I'll take it out Sunday morning before we go to church, put it in the oven, bake it off, put it on warm, and when we come in from there, we'll have friends with us, and we will sit down and enjoy this along with probably a salad. And I'm going to make something else, but I might do a video about it. So I don't want to ruin the surprise by telling you what it is. So anyway, we'll try to share a video of this when I take it out of the oven, unless I'm too excited talking to friends and forget about it. But anyway, for right now, this is what it looks like, and it smells delightful. The recipe is in the description as always, and if you have questions, feel free to ask them on this venue, and I will get right back to it as soon as I turn my computer on and see that I have a question on there. So comments are welcome too. Just be nice, be kind. Okay, thanks for watching, and we look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. Bye guys.